What's going on, guys? Pete over again over at Delirium. Coming back at you with another war recap. This one is going to be an interesting one. We had a couple Town Hall 10 and 11 3-stars, but I'm not going to show you any of those. I decided I'm going to show you all Town Hall 9 attacks this war. And the reason I want to do that is because we had a couple really outside the box attacks. Let's tell these guys to say hi to you guys. Come on, guys, say hi to YouTube. You're live. L-O mother effing L. Yeah, they're not very excited. That's Dead 83's mini account. That's his little Town Hall 9 mini-me, 762 war stars. He's alright. What tube? It ain't red tube, it's YouTube, bitch. Anyway, we're gonna get into these attacks. This is against it wasn't a bad clan, but I don't think it was a good clan. And if you're watching this, sorry, I gotta donate real quick. I do apologize to the Nomads clan because, like I said, they're not a bad clan, but they're not going to get classified as a good clan. Their number 1 and 2 is the same guy. How do you have 2 Town Hall 11 accounts? Yes, you got 2 stars on every one of our top 4 bases. But how do you have time for 2 near max level 140 something Town Hall 11s? Like, how do you have that much time on your hands? I got a Town Hall 10, basically a Town Hall 9, and a Town Hall 8. And I got to gem half my shit just to keep up. Yeah, I said it. I mean, in half my videos, you can notice my gems. You get 3,800. But you figure, you know, you calculate time versus, you know, how much rating all that stuff is worth to you. Oh, he called me schlong. I'm on my main account. Yeah, my mini-me is schlong. I've showed you guys a couple times. You're actually going to see a couple of his raids tonight. But anyway, let's get into it. The Nomads clan. They are, like I said, not a bad clan. Well, they're not good. They're level 7 with 54 wins. But anyways, let's dive in. And like I said, we're not going to show any Town Hall 11 or Town Hall 10 attacks. We're simply going to get into Town Hall 9. And the first one I'm actually going to show you is from my nice friend Adam over in the UK. You'll notice this is their level 11, and Adam is ranked 17. Nothing like watching a number 17 attack a number 11. So anyway, you'll notice on this base that there's only a couple possibilities for double giant bombs. He's going to come in with a go-ho. Most of our Town Hall 9s, I'd say probably like 80 to 85% of our attacks are all go-ho. You're never going to see a go-wipe. You're not going to see a go-wee-wee. You're not going to see anything else. You're going to see some go-laloon every now and then, depending on the base if it calls for it. But this one is going to be a classic go-ho. And the double bombs are all in your south area. They're all right here. So what he's going to do is he's going to come in actually from the east side, and let's get into this real quick. He's going to drop him right over on the east simply because A, the queen's over there, and B, you're going to see how he deploys these, and he can get into those areas without actually triggering them. So he's going to drop the king first, get the queen out, or get the enemy queen out of the way. A rage. He did a jump rage. I like how he did this, and he doesn't normally do this, but I'm very happy that he does, because a jump rage, even though you're only taking 2 heal spells, gets a lot of that middle area out of the way. If those expos and everything in the middle are concentrated on your kill squad, your hogs are literally just going to work. I mean, look at them. They're not even focused. Expos aren't even looking at them. Now they start to look at him. He dropped the hogs very early, and the reason he dropped them early is simply because all the major components of this enemy's defense started focusing on the kill squad. And you can do that, especially if there's a dragon or occasionally a hound. Even though if a hound explodes, you got the pups chasing hogs, but a poison will eliminate that. You'll notice the hogs got all that matters right there. That archer tower is almost down, but it doesn't matter. He's got the queen at full health, and he's just simply going to take out the whiz tower and then use his ability right on the archer tower. Adam, if you're listening, if you were a real baller, you would drop that poison and swag it because you don't need it. It's unnecessary. Show them you don't give a hell about it. Rest at this point is just cleanup. Number 17, Adam, hit number 11. He's one of the top Town Hall 9 bases, so nice job on his part, man. Plenty of time to spare. I think there was like almost a minute left in this attack. It didn't seem too fast, but it was a very quick attack. All right, next we're going to get into... Damn. So this, once again, if you've watched any of the earlier videos, is my mini. Yes, I have a big advantage simply because I'm a Town Hall 10. I've had a lot of experience with Town Hall 9s. So the fact that I have a Town Hall 9 that's got decent heroes and max war troops is kind of the advantage. You know, don't give me extra credit by any means. But I'm number 24 because I'm an 8.5. I have less than max Teslas on the account, but all max offense and 11-15 queen. So we'll watch this one simply because it is number 24, 3-starring number 12. And this is an anti 3-star base. But anti 3-stars are they're very good bases simply because you can't guess where the double giant bombs are. The only way that you can actually guess them is if you think in a way that you would make the base. How would you make the base? You would obviously try to put the double giant bombs away from the king or away from the queen, simply because you know that everybody needs to kill the queen if you're going to do a hog attack. And any good Town Hall 9, the majority of your attacks are going to be hog attacks. If you don't think, if you're thinking, oh man, but what about Go Wipe? You don't need to worry about any of that stuff. Yes, you're wrong. Go Wipe doesn't work. You may get a 2-star. Whoop-de-doo. 2 stars win wars, right? No. So the kill squad simply went in, got the queen, got the king. I drop a couple hogs right on the bottom simply because those defenses were focusing on the kill squad. And I'll be honest, I meant to do kind of an all-east area deployment, but I ended up holding on to these hogs a little longer than normal. And I ended up dropping them in like sets of 2s or 3s at specific defenses. And it actually worked out much better for me because you normally don't want to do a kill squad on the southwest area and then do hogs on the southeast, the northeast, and the northwest. But I did it and I got away with it. And the reason I say you don't really want to do that is because you're leaving so many defenses around these areas of anti 3-stars because they're so spread out. You're leaving them in focus and able to just pick off groups of 2s or 3s. I mean, a defense can handle 2 or 3 if they're not focusing on anything but the hogs. But I got away with it because of the bomb displacement. So not too bad. And yes, baller status, I'm going to swag the poison. Where? Right on the town hall. Well, obviously I don't know how to do it on the town hall. I put it off to the side of it. So anyways, yeah, that was number 24, 3-starring number 12. And like I said, it's an 8.5, so I'm ranked very low even though the offense is very high. Next one I'm actually going to get into, and this is a good friend of ours. This is my man Hen. Now Hen had an actually really interesting attack. Hats off to you. I really enjoyed this attack. What he did is he ended up using the earthquake spells to open up a lot of this base. And the way he did it was pretty phenomenal. So let's dive into it. Number 11, Hen, attacking Deathron. What a stupid name, of the Nomad clan. Notice where he's going to drop these earthquake spells. He drops them right over the town hall. It's not advised to block off your town hall, especially with these new earthquake spells, because look at how much this base actually just opened up. He has access to most likely every double bomb, all air defenses, the queen, the clan castle. I mean, he's got almost everything open wide up. And you don't see this very often, especially with a rage, but watch how he does it. He puts in a simple witch, and what the witch is going to do is, notice how the skeletons are actually going to trip a lot of the bombs. Some of the clan castle is actually going to focus on the skeletons of it, but she's still alive. He's going to drop a rage early, get rid of the clan castle. He started the hogs simply because everything important in the middle has focused on everything. So these hogs are going to come in untouched, unfocused. The Teslas are pretty much almost the only things that are focusing on them at this point. He drops a giant, and you'll notice in a lot of these videos we use giants early. We bring about 1 to 2 giants, and the reason for the giants is the point defenses. You're going to get rid of them focusing on hogs. I mean, their DPS is pretty high. They distract really nicely. They can take a lot of damage. I mean, they're especially level 6 or level 7, they tank very well. Out of the 20-something hogs he had, he's got almost all of them left. I mean, this was an overkill attack. Queen hasn't even used her ability. So overall, Hen, absolutely hats off job to you. And just great deployment. Attaboy. Alright, so now the next attack that we're going to get into, this is going to come from Blake. Blake is a newer member of our clan. He's been pretty fun. He's been pretty nice to have. Blake is, he's recently undergone a breakup with his longtime girlfriend, who's caused him nothing but problems. If I ever get famous from YouTube, I'm sorry about this if she ever sees this, but Blake is a much happier man now that she's gone. All the stuff has moved out of the apartment, so props to you, man. I'm glad that stuff got settled. But we're going to get into your attack. This is what Blake has been doing in his free time, playing with his cock, because you aren't doing such a good job at it. Anyways, so this kind of attack is a little different than the rest of the attacks that I've shown you. This is a different attack. The reason I say that is he's been experimenting with some stuff. This is a hog attack, but it's not a hog-focused attack. This has been his kind of push farming army that he's been experimenting with. It's a queen walk meets a hog attack, but it's got extra kill squad. Without further ado, let's get into this and just notice what's going on. He's going to start with a queen walk up in the west region. Why he does that is he just wants to take out a lot of this base as much as he can. He's bringing 3 golems, so it's more of a kill, or not a kill squad, more of a tank squad heavy attack. And he's trying to get all this into the center, get a lot of those big defenses because it is a tight base. And now, generally speaking, you don't really want to use a queen walk on a tighter base. Why? Tighter bases, you have more defenses focusing on your queen. For instance, you're going to notice that he's going to have to use a rage and also his ability pretty early. I mean, all he's taken out at this point is 2 defenses and a couple storages. The clan castle's coming out. The rage goes down, poison goes down. He's gonna have to use his ability. This is the reason you generally don't want to use it, because A, the queen is still alive, and B, that whole process only took a couple defenses out. But that's fine simply because it doesn't matter. What he's doing is he's bringing in such a large tanking kill squad that the queen will stay alive. He brings 3 golems. He's going to jump into the center. Now you'll notice on this base, the center is a very large center. So all of the big, major, important components of this base is going to focus on that center. You might want to call it a trapping center, what you have it. I mean, it's not a great war base. I mean, because any normal hog attack is going to 3-star this base. There's not very many options for double bombs. Teslas are obviously in the middle. I mean, anytime, boom, there they go. But you're going to notice that since all his kill squad is in the center, and like I said, it's distracting everything. Look at his hogs. Up until this point right now, nothing has touched them. Nothing has still touched them. Okay, 1 cannon is focusing on them. Out of all those Teslas, the Expos, the Whiz Tower, the Mortar, the only thing that's focused on them through about 30% of that base is 1 single cannon. So he's able to get all those defenses out of the way. I mean, it's a great attack. It's a little risky simply because you don't know how things are going to react, because you're only bringing 1 heal and generally, you know, hogs, but he only brought 10 hogs. So 1 heal is about 10 hogs worth, because normally a hog attack is about 20. So very, very good attack there. You might not be so risky in a closer war, but it worked out. So I'm quite happy for that. Next attack we're going to look at, actually again, is my man Big Schlong. The reason I'm going to show 2 of his attacks is not because I'm trying to boast, not because I'm trying to bag by any means, but this is actually a pretty good anti-3-star base. And the reason I say it's pretty good is where his bombs are located, it's quite difficult to trigger them all and also get the queen. So if you're hogging this base, and hogging it, aside from a goal-lulling base, is the only way that you're going to 3-star these bases. I mean, can you incorporate dragons? Sure. Can you do that? But it's all silly, to be honest with you. And this had multiple attempts on it, so I'm not going to say that it was the first attempt. I had three attacks to watch before I even attacked this. And it's a very unethical deployment of hogs, and you're going to see that shortly. But I brought the kill squad in from the south. And I brought it in from the south because I knew that a double bomb was to the right of where the Expo is firing currently on the first golem. So I knew I wanted to trigger that. I knew I could get the king and the queen pretty easy. And also the clan castle. This was a witch heavy with wizard clan castle. So I actually dropped 2 poisons on it with a rage combined. So I went really heavy to take those out because witches respawning, they can cause a bit of a problem, not going to lie. But I was able to take out the clan castle, the queen. I just took out a double bomb area. So I start my hog deployment, and I started them in the east area where they weren't even focusing on the hogs. They were looking at the queen. Once again, bringing 1 giant to distract a couple point defenses. But the reason I said at the beginning that this is unethical is look how many hogs I have left at this point. I have 17. By the way, that was a terrible heal. It healed absolutely nothing. But I literally dropped the hogs from east all the way counterclockwise to west. And generally you don't really want to do that because you're making hogs susceptible to single defenses taking them out, because you're really only allowing a couple defenses or a couple hogs to take out 2 to 3 defenses. But the way that they were distracted, it worked out. I still haven't used queen ability. So at that point, just the way it worked and the way they maneuvered, it was really good. At this point, the rest is cleanup. So my man Big Schlong, number 24, taking out 16. Another nice 3-star. And this last attack, this is going to wrap up my war recap. Primarily focused on Town Hall 9 hog attacks. I mean, you saw a couple different attacks. You saw, incorporating quick spells. You saw it incorporating surgical. You saw it using only one heal instead of two or even three. I mean, there's many different ways to do it. So it really just depends on the base. But once again, Pete over at Delirium, checking out for another war recap. Once again, as my man Daz says, if you're unhappy and you know it, change your clan, my man.